Hello, I'm Carl Rowland with Sherline Products. In this video, we're going to go over the tools and offset page, park position, tool change position, and then touching off some tools. And at the end of the video, we'll go over how to use the tool setter. So to begin with, you go to your F4 tools and offset page. Okay, I've already got tools in here, which represent the tools that I have right here. Okay, on each of the tools, if you just double click on the tool, you put your tool name in. The tool offset is what we'll show you next. This is the latest version of MASSO that we just got yesterday, and they now have tool diameter and tool diameter wear for the cutter compensation that they're going to offer in the next upgrade. So just going to hit cancel. Okay, so for starts, you go to the F2 page. You want to let the control know what tool is in the spindle. So because it's on tool number 1, I'm going to do a tool change to tool number 3, which is my longest tool. Okay, so we'll just go to MDI, just punch in T3, T3, M6, enter. Okay, it tells you to hit cycle start once you've changed the tool. Cycle start. Okay, so I'm going to put the tool in now. Okay, so for general tool setup, for my tool offset, I'm going to touch the tip of the part to the tip of the tool to the top of my part. The top of my part is always going to be 00 in my programs. Got a piece of 1000 shim stock. You can use a piece of paper, whatever you want, as long as within a thou or a couple thou, all your tool offsets are going to be close enough to work with. I'm going to hit exit. I'm going to go to jog, the F3 screen. It's already on continuous. Say at continuous, my rapid moves are at 70 inches a minute. Okay, I can override the rapid moves with the bar right there and slow it down considerably. Okay, I would recommend slowing it down when you get close. And I'm just trying to get it over the top surface of this finished part right now. I'm going to turn it down. I'm over the top of it and I'm pretty close. Once I get close, I want to go to step mode. Okay, and the green light will turn on, and then I pick my increment that I want to go. So for starts, I'm going to go 10 thou because it looks like I'm closer than 100 thou. And I'm just going to start stepping it down. That looks like it's within 10. I'm now going to change to 1 thou. Right there's a rub. So my drill is now touching the shim stock on the top of the part. Now I'm going to go to my F4 screen. I'm going to call up tool number, double click on tool number 2. Okay, and right now all I do is touch 0. And that's the distance from my machine home position to touching the part right there. And then I'm going to hit save, and it shows 4.622 minus 4.62263. Hit save, and that's what shows right here. Okay. Okay, I either jog out of the way, go back here and hit continuous and jog it up. I can also boost my feed rate up to rapid at 100%. Okay, the other thing I can do is go to the MDI page, click on MDI, and it has a button here that says Go Home Z. Using this, it's a lot faster than jogging it. So I've just moved my tool to a clearance point. So now I'm going to call up tool number 1. Okay, I'm going to touch off tool number 1. So I tap on the command line and I just punch in T1, M6, enter. And again, it's going to tell me to press cycle start after changing the tool. On all these tools, make sure that the mounting surface and the threads are clean. There's no chips on the mounting surface of your spindle. Okay, and you don't have to sock these down for touching off your tools. Just put them on snug like that. You're good. I'm gonna hit cycle start, exit, and then I would jog, bring it down close. And I'm gonna go step. I'm gonna go 100,000 increments. Okay, it's getting pretty close. I'm gonna go to 10. Okay, on an end mill, you wanna make sure that one of your flutes is actually over the surface of the part that you're gonna touch on, because the end mill is relieved into the middle. The same would go if I was doing my face mill cutter. If I came down right now, it would be in the middle. You wanna make sure that the actual cutting tip of the insert is over the top of the part when you're touching off. Put my shim stock under again. I'm going to go down to 1/1000ths per click and just start touching it. Touch and move, touch and move. Okay, right there's a touch. Okay, now I go back to my tool 4 page. I double click on tool number 1, which is my 3/8 end mill. I hit 0 and save. Okay. I can then go to the MDI page, MDI, and go home. And it sends my tool home. Okay, so that's the basics on how to touch off your tools. Okay, with MASSO, you have several other options. The next thing we're going to go over is the tool change position. You obviously don't want your tools changing right above a part. You get done machining it. You want it to change at a position that's away so you can measure your part, blow it off, have room to take your tools on and off. Okay, so what we do is first we'll home it out. So we just go to the jog page and just push home, hold it for 5-7 seconds, and all 3 or 4 of your axes will home out. Okay, we have the homing feed rate is at 20 inches a minute. If you went at 70 inches a minute, you would tend to overshoot your sensors, which can't read that fast. So the homing sequence is slow. The rapid is actually at 70 inches a minute. Okay, so right now it just homed out the whole machine. And if you look right here, machine position is showing 0 for all 4 axes. So that's your machine 0, which is also, if you're going to program to move to a machine position, you would use G53. Okay, so right now what I'm going to do is jog to a position on the machine where I would actually like to change my tools. So I'm still in jog, I'm going to go to continuous. First I'm going to grab my longest tool and I'm going to put it in the spindle. Okay. Then I'm just going to jog. Okay, I can see how high my part is, and 2.6. So right now, I'm at minus, let's say -2, -1.5, and -2.5 for my X, Y, and Z. If I go to the F1 screen, okay, I can go to Tool Changer and double click. Then this is a manual tool changer. I'm going to double click on Manual Tool Changer, and you have, make sure you read this too. It's not X, Y, and Z. It's stating Z first, X, and Y. So for the Z, I'm going to punch in -2.5. For the X-axis, going to go -2.0. For the Y-axis, going to go -1.5. Okay, so those are the positions I want to go to. In order for it to go to that position, you have to click on your enable buttons right here. So just hit enable on all of them and hit save, and then hit save again. Okay, if at any point in time I don't want it to move to the tool change position, because it's going to move there every time you call up a tool now. Whether you call it up manually in MDI or it's in your program, it's going to first move to that tool change position right there. If I don't want it to move to that tool change position, instead of changing all these to 0, I can just click the enable off on each of the axes and save it that way. So we're going to enable for now, save, save. So right now, it thinks I have tool number 1 in there. Okay, to make sure I don't crash anything, I'll take tool number 3 out. And just for the heck of it, we'll jog it over somewhere close to where it would have finished machining. So we're right there. I'm going to go to MDI. I'm going to punch in T3, M6, enter. Now it moves to the tool change position that you just put in there. Okay, and then it says press cycle start after changing the tool. So right now I would change from tool 1 to tool number 3. And you can see that it still has tool number 1 up here. Okay, as soon as I hit cycle start. Okay. And now it says tool number 3. The position that it just moved to now is the last position it was before it did the tool change. So it's always going to come back to the position it was when you called up the tool change. Okay, so that's how you do your tool change position and how you change your tools out if you want to use it or not use it. The next one we're going to go over is park position. Park position can be used for many different things. Okay, the park position could be your home position with an elevated Z-axis for your part. It could be position for your tool setter. It could just be a clearance point that you'd like to move to get out of the way. So in this case, we're going to say that I'm going to say that we indicated in the center of my hole right here, and the numbers I came up with were basically, let's just jog there. That looks about right. The y-axis looks pretty close. Okay, so we're going to say I just indicated it in, and I'm going to step it over a little bit. That looks pretty good. Okay, I want to raise my Z up. To what would be a clearance point for my longest tool. I want to go a little bit more than that. Okay, and again we read the machine coordinates. Okay, so we got minus 7.078, minus 3.166, and minus 2.8. Okay, so for my park position, I'm going to my tool offset page, and it has down here, you have G54 through G59, it has park position. Okay, let me look at this one more time. I write these down. 6.8. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my F4 tool page. I'm going to double click on park position, and I can put a park position, the same coordinates from my machine position in there. So minus 7.078. Minus 3.166. Oh, missed my decimal point again. 0.166. And Z minus, get rid of it, minus 2.8. Then hit save. That's my park position. Okay. Go back to MDI. We'll go to jog again. Just going to move it out of the way. Okay, now to go to my park position, there's two ways to go there. Again, I can go to the F2 MDI screen, and when I click on this, it has go to park position. So again, this is just one click that gets me from wherever I am on the table to a position that I want to go to. Like again, whether it's the part 0 position or the tool center position. So right now it's set up for the part center line. I'm just going to hit park position. And it just goes there. The other option is to go into your MDI and type in G90, GOO, X minus 7.087, Y minus 3, and so forth, which takes a lot of time. So being able to just easily go within a couple clicks to a park position makes it a lot easier to work with your machine. So this is set up for my, my part center line. If I was using a tool setter and I wanted to use my park position to get me in the general location of my tool setter, I would jog it over, read off what my machine numbers are, and I would put those into a park position. So that's how you use the park. Oh, okay, one more. If you wanted to move to a park position in your program, the G code for park position is G30. So whether it's an MDI or your program, exit out of this. Go G30. So that's another way to get to your park position. Okay? So that pretty much covers park position.